I was standing in a coupe in a train, talking to my wife on the phone and thinking about entering a specific coupe where a man, obviously academic, was sitting. About 60-65 years old. He read about the fact that exterior is important and that clothing is important, and when he read it he probably bought some nice clothes, but he didn't update that for about 40 years, I guess, according to the way he looked. He was not well groomed and yet intellectual. He was sitting there looking around and having that briefcase that no sane man would have unless he would have a very decent reason to carry that around. That was the things how I assume he's going to be an intellectual, maybe academic, interested in something from a history spectrum of the side. So I decided to enter that coupe. I finished that call and I entered there. I wear probably the same outfit as I'm having right now without the vest. And he said some proverb and I knew that it's going to be very interesting journey. I sat at the other corner of the coupe. It looked like this. He was in this corner, I was in this corner, and he was looking around, he was observing. It's not very usual. He looked outside of his window, then he looked outside of my window, and then he looked at me. And he looked at me for about like 10 to 15 seconds. And because I'm looking at people as well, I looked at that window as well, and then I looked at him, and we looked at each other for that whole time, like 15 seconds, which is insane amount of time when you are not talking to that person. And I was like, well, this is going to be really funny. And then I started like this, my internal convincing myself whether to talk to that person or not. I was like, okay, I have a lot of things to do. I need to finish, I need to respond to these messages, I need to prepare the video, I need to do a lot of stuff. I thought I was procrastinating that day quite a lot, so I thought I will finish everything on a train and then I will see my friends and we will go back then and it will be fine. But it was okay, I probably won't finish anything on the train, so should I talk to that person? He seems to be very interesting and I'm teaching that stuff on internet and it would be a great story, and this person seems to be very interesting and I want to find out more about him. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. It will be a great story for a course that I'm preparing about exactly the situation and the thing that I was at. So I was like, okay. When I came to the coupe, he opened in a rather offensive way. So I said, okay, I want to open in quite offensive way as well myself. So I was like, hi sir, may I interrupt you? How was your observing? What did you find out? And I led him for a little while to think whether I am offensive as well, whether I want to argue or I want to fight or what's my intention. And he clearly was quite unsure that I'm going to open in this way. So I soothed the situation. I didn't want to have a negative conversation. So we started talking, and I've probably never met a person as knowledgeable about history, philosophy and politics and stuff like that as he was. We started talking about pretty much everything. He did most of the talking. I was just steering the conversation with the questions and something little that I could say to things that he was talking about. So it was super interesting journey. So it was like an hour and a half and we spoke almost all the time. And I was so happy that I've opened the conversation and started talking to that. Not only that I can make a video of it, but also because it felt great afterwards. I've met an interesting person, I've learned something new, and it also helps me to feel better about myself, that I can start talking to people. And the spiel and the message of the video is to talk to people even though you don't trust yourself as well. I was hesitant to do it, but I was so happy that I did it afterwards. So whenever you are meeting someone that might look like they are interesting and you might want to talk to them because blank you feel the reason, do it open somehow, and mostly people want to share, people want to talk. So don't worry about sounding stupid or sounding strange or whatever, because it may be strange, but so what? You want to talk to the person, so go and talk to the person. And if you are the quieter person and the person who needs a strategy or something, I'm preparing a course. It is the working title for it is a Confident Communication Academy, where I'll be teaching exactly the process from the A to Z. how I did it, that I started talking to the person. So the mental preparation, communication strategies, and how to close it, when to close it, and all the stuff that you might think about and you might use when you are at the situation like this and you want to open a conversation and you want to like build a relationship. I'm not talking about deep relationships, but some relationship, and you want to like boom do it this way. So this was sort of a vloggy video, and I wanted to show it is possible even though you may not trust yourself. And if you like the video, if you like me, if you like anything that is around here, please like the video for the algorithm, please subscribe for yourself. And if you want to see more of my life or my stories, I've been in Budapest recently, so there is a video. You can click the video and meet me there, and I will just be looking forward to see you in Budapest. Bye.